welcome to How I See It with Kevin Levrone, another edition brought to you by Levrone Supplements. We're here with the man himself, Kevin Levrone. Kevin, thanks for joining us, as always.
Hey, guys. Thank you, Ron.
Well, Kevin, you got a lot of questions from your fans on the MD forums. I'm going to get right to it.
Okay.
I'm going to summarize the first one because it's pretty damn long. So he talked about two awesome stories you've told. One was how you introduced Ronnie to vodka and got him shredded, and that's when he started winning everything from that moment on. That was in Russia, right?
Yes.
Okay. The other story I never even heard about. It was a time where you were cramping up backstage. I don't know what show this was. And Sean Ray wouldn't give you not one piece of his orange to help you out. I got to hear this story. Can you please tell me that story?
Well, we're actually sharing the pump up rooms and everything. When you go backstage, they assign pump up rooms. Back then, you have roommates in the pump up rooms with you.
Yeah.
Not the pump up room, the waiting, like a little locker,
Yeah.
The waiting area
like
where you get ready.
Dressing rooms in like a theater.
Dressing room. I shared a dressing room with him.
Okay.
I wasn't cramping. I just asked him for, I was dehydrated and I needed a piece of something, water or something. And there was nothing around, and I saw him peeling his orange. And I said, "Man, can I have a piece of that?" And he says, "No, man." He goes, "Sorry, we're bros, but right now every man has to fend for himself. And besides, if I give you this and you beat me, you're taking food off my table, Levrone."
Wow. Okay. Interesting. Was anyone else like that? Wouldn't share food with you when you needed it?
No.
To Sean at one time? Because
Yeah.
I think you told me back when you guys used to go around Europe on those crazy tours and buses and crazy conditions, foreign airports. You guys were always sharing food and stuff, right?
Yeah, we always helped each other out. Whoever didn't have one thing, they would try to supply the other person with it if they needed it. Back then you're on the road for the 2 weeks, and Milos Sarchev, he was there, and Sonny Smith was there.
Yeah.
Those guys always came prepared. They were constantly eating. NASA El Somebody, those guys are always eating.
Sure.
I didn't eat that much, and I knew because they were eating a lot, they would spill over and everything.
Yeah.
So for me, it was all right to go without eating in between shows. Those guys were eating, pass food around and stuff. So even Chris Cormier was there, so we had fun. Paul Dillette and all of us, man. Learning experience, but we all helped out each other no matter what.
Right. Okay, next question. What did I just do? Wax something. These all came from Vin77, I believe. So Kevin went from winning the Nationals overall in 1991 to winning the Night of Champions in 92 and placing second in your first Olympia a few months after that. Quite an accomplishment. Can you ask Kevin to touch a little bit upon that experience? What your expectations were going into your pro show in that whole year? Did you surprise yourself that you were able to win the Grand Prix Germany, Night of Champions, and then play second to Dorian Yates, all in your rookie year?
It happened so quick, like a blur. It just happened so quick. I remember winning the Nationals. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Really didn't have too much time to think or let that soak in because I was on a plane heading to meet Joe Weider for the first time after that within a matter of a week.
Wow.
That same weekend. So I was this kid just working a normal job, and next thing you know, I turned pro. Meeting Joe Weider. As a matter of fact, that same weekend, getting offered a contract that same weekend, that same week,
Yeah.
and spending a week in California doing photo shoots with the top photographers in the world. It was like a dream come true. It was amazing, man. Then I ended up coming home, I think, after the photo shoots. 5 months later, I was out in the magazines just before I was ready to walk on stage and do the Night of Champions.
Yeah.
And I won that show. Robbie Robinson was backstage. It was amazing, man. It was just, things just happened so quick, so fast, out of my control. And September? I mean, the Night of Champions was
May.
May.
Yeah.
May 15th, I think. May 12th, 15th. Then June, July, August, September, so 4 months later, I was in Helsinki, Finland,
Hmm.
flying overseas, competing against Lou Ferrigno,
Yeah.
Lee Labrada,
Right.
Momo Benaziza, Sean Ray for the first time.
Yeah.
Ronnie Coleman wasn't even pro at that time.
No, he
Chris
was.
Cormier wasn't pro.
Ronnie was a
Flex.
pro. Ronnie, you don't
Oh,
even
he
remember.
was?
He was dead last. He was in that show.
Oh, wow. Chris
Well,
Cormier wasn't around then.
right.
Flex Wheeler didn't have his pro card then.
Gillette didn't either. Right.
Paul Dillette. It was Momo Benaziza, Lee Labrada, Dorian Yates,
Of course.
Sean Ray, um, Francis Benfato. You know, it was just amazing to see the guys in person that I had looked up to in the magazines. Blew me away, man. All this stuff just happened within a matter of a year,
All right.
you know. And
Now I want to back you up because all these guys now they're never going to have that chance because Joe Weider passed away, and that building's no longer the Weider headquarters in Woodland Hills like it was.
mhm.
I only went there once, and I didn't even get to see Joe's office. But I remember it was like a museum. There was all this great artwork everywhere. It was mahogany, and it was
Yeah.
just a very intimidating. It was like walking in a museum. What was it like for you as a young guy going in there the first time and meeting Joe Weider, the father of modern bodybuilding?
It was like a experience you always remember. I always remember that walking into the office and seeing all the big paintings on the wall, huge paintings of Arnold Schwarzenegger, um, paintings of Frank Zane, paintings of Lee Haney,
Yeah.
you know, the former Mr. Olympians. Huge paintings, like 12 by maybe 15 or something, hanging on the wall.
Yep.
And as you go to the front counter, and they phone upstairs, you know, to let Joe know that you're downstairs. And go in the elevator and go up. As you walk into the elevator, you see that big life-size horse, bronze Remington
Yeah.
statue right there,
Yep.
you know, in the foyer-way.
Yeah.
Looks like you're in the foyer-way of you know, a big, huge hotel.
Right.
And then going upstairs, man, I remember the first time I think I was escorted up. I don't know if Peter McGough was working there when I first turned pro. I'm not quite sure, but I was walked up. It might have been Lynn Conkright or somebody walked me up. And I was sitting in the hall waiting area, waiting for Joe to come. And I saw him for the first time, man, and it was just, I knew I had arrived as a professional bodybuilder because I felt like I was walking in the same steps as the former champions, Lee Haney, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Frank Zane, and so much history happened in that building. And you just sit there, you soak it up, and your wind gets taken away, you lose your breath, and you just can't believe it. And you don't want the moment to leave, and you know, you sit there, you meet Joe, and you hear that voice, that piercing voice, you know. And I just sat and I listened. Just sat and listen. That's all I could do was just listen to what he was saying. And he really loved the sport of bodybuilding, very, very passionate, and could talk about training, could talk about working out. And he just started giving me pointers about posing, how the midsection has to be like a vacuum. Suck it in. You know, the midsection is the center vocal point of the lines of creating the illusion. Bodybuilding is illusion. You know, started showing me how to hit pose, how to hold your biceps up, and how to flex your abs and still talk and breathe at the same time. You know, and these are things that I didn't know, but things that we saw him teaching Arnold Schwarzenegger this in the magazines, and here I was right before my eyes, and it was just happening, and it was just amazing, man. I felt like no greater gift that God could ever give me, you know, to go from just a kid doing construction and having a dream to become a bodybuilder and walking and having the respect that I had arrived on the IFBB scene was totally mind-blowing. And I remember that for the rest of my life, you know.
Cool.
He loved the athletes. He loved all of us, man. Joe would call and see how we're doing after shows. He would always get the list of shows that we won. He followed it. Not only Mr. Olympia, he followed all the IFBB pros All of us were his athletes, and he followed us and congratulated us and respected us all on the same level as he did as Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, people ask me, Ron, what's the one interview you wish you'd gotten? That's the one, Joe Weider, right there.
Yeah. We would have meetings about shows coming up, meetings about what we had to do. We were underneath the umbrella of protection. We had to carry ourselves as professionals in and out of the gym, and he took care of us. We felt comfortable. We felt like IFBB pros. You felt like you were amongst the elite
Right.
athletes because back then, very seldom, you had to be really, really good to get a pro to win a pro card because the competition ran deep and they didn't give them out so much.
Right.
I think you only had like maybe, I don't know what, 6 or 7, 8 pro cards given out a year, maybe.
Well, let's see. In the United States, every nationals class winner, and back then there were less weight classes. I think it was bantam, light, middle, light, heavy, and heavy. That was it. So 5 pros at the nationals. The USA, only the overall winner turned pro. North American, only the overall winner turned pro. And that could have been a Canadian or a Mexican, theoretically.
Yeah.
And or you could go to the World Amateurs, which.
So say on the average of 10, maybe.
Yeah.
If that much.
I don't think it was
maybe
even that
8.
much. Yeah. So it was elite. We were elite back then.
Really was, and that stood for one heck of an accomplishment.
All right, we got more questions. Kevin tore his tricep, I believe, just 4 to 6 weeks out from the 2003 Olympia. You'll have to correct me.
No.
No, that's completely wrong.
No, I tore it after I got second in my first Mr. Olympia in 1992. Came home and I tore it in that February of 93.
Okay. So you missed the Arnold Classic in 93, right? But you did the Olympia. Yeah.
Did the Olympia.
Okay. How did you manage to still train, come in shape, compete, and place a very respectable 6th place that year, given the circumstances?
Well,
first he wants to know, how did you tear the tricep? What were you doing when you tore it?
no, it was a benching. I ripped my chest.
Okay. So
600 for a double.
You've never torn a tricep, right?
I tore a tricep in 2000. I think it was 3 or 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was the same, right around the same, 2003.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, he's right. So this was 2003 Olympia. So
3 Olympia. Okay, yeah. Okay.
We're like 10 years off here. Yeah, so how'd you tear the tricep?
Really heavy lat pull downs.
Wow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you still did the Olympia that year, right?
Still did it. Yeah, it was 6 weeks. 3, 4 weeks. I think it was about 5, 6 weeks. I'm not sure. Out. Yep.
So were you still able? What were you still able to train in that amount of time when you had that?
Nothing back then. I mean, I just had to go to heavy reps and stuff, and stay off of it because I already had the sides and stuff that I think. What year was this? 92?
He thinks it was
93.
2003. 2003.
Yeah,
No, that's not
2003.
Right. You were
No, it wasn't.
You were already retired by 2003.
No, I wasn't.
No?
That was my last show.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, he's right.
All right.
I just trained around it, and found a way.
And you didn't lose anything, right? Size-wise, you were able to maintain for those few weeks?
Yeah, kind of mentally. I mean, any injury like that will affect your mental drive, and you're not 100%. So even though physically you look okay, mentally, you're dealing with the inner pain and stuff mentally,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Dave415 wants to know how your mental approach to lifting has changed now that you're over 50. Are you a lot more conservative, or do you still train as heavy?
It's still the same. I mean, you go back into that zone and everything kicks in. Like right now, I'm looking forward to, now that I'm over the pain and quadricep tendon stuff, yeah, the mindset and everything will kick back in when I'm going to go and prepare for, kick it in next month. It's only natural. It's a natural instinct of survival and everything that we taught ourselves how to grow in that mode of a champion kicks in mentally. And there's no other way. There's no other way. I don't know any other thing. When I go in the gym and I start chalking my hands and you hear the music and you just get in the zone and you feel the weight and you go to that place, and you can't turn it off once you're there. It's like me being on stage if I have everything right, my legs, my back, my arms, my shoulders, then that I'm going to kick into that routine mode of posing, then the fans are going to get that.
Yeah.
But if I'm not, the quads aren't there and the back's not there, my weight's not there, and I'm not in shape, you're not going to get that 100% performance.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of like feel your way through it, make decisions as you go.
So, I mean, the knee thing you've gotten past, but your shoulders feel fine, your lower back?
Everything's good, yeah. I mean, I'm stiff far as my back and stuff, but I'll be okay. No injuries.
Yeah. Okay, this is from a guy in Poland. He posts as, oh boy, wish me luck here. Piwowarski Darius. I'm assuming his first name must be Darius, and Piwowarski is probably his last name.
Okay.
Why is there no more Kevin Levrone Classic in Poland? I'm from Poland. It was great to see top pros live on stage. So, any plans to bring it back there?
We might do some things with with Robin Chang and stuff. Yeah, we're looking at doing some things now with the IFBB Pro League and with Robin Chang, and so we're tossing around some ideas.
You've
It
always
might not be.
you have a really good fan base in Poland, I believe, right?
Yeah, huge. It's really huge, man. And I haven't forgot about the people over there. But we had to take a year. We had to take a step back for a year and take a look at everything and reevaluate things and come back to the plate. So.
I want to finish up this episode with not a question, but an email that was sent to you. Hello, Kevin. I hope this email reaches you. I heard you give your email on MD's Ask Kevin. It's actually called How I See It with Kevin Levrone. But Ask Kevin's close enough. I've been a longtime fan and wanted to thank you. I remember seeing you in Flex in the 90s when I started working out in high school and became a bodybuilding fan. I was watching your videos in awe and cheering for you in all the Olympias. All the times you came in second, I felt your pain with you. The reason for my email is I just wanted to tell you how much I admire you. Your genetics are godsend, but your positive attitude is what makes you a true champion. Your positive attitude, incredible work ethic, honesty and transparency in performance-enhancing drugs, nutrition, and training are all refreshing in an industry full of secrets, quote unquote. Your comeback made me realize you can never be too old to attain the body you want. My only regret is I never got to meet you, yet that is. I live in Pittsburgh and wish I was at your comeback announcement here. I want to shake your hand and tell you how much you've influenced me in a positive light. Until then, I appreciate you and what you've done for bodybuilding and those who you've inspired. No matter what you place in any contest going forward, you're a true champion. Sincerely, a lifetime fan, Frank Lodovico. Nice letter, Frank.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Frank.
Yeah.
It's just stuff like that, It's just when you hear and you see and you read emails like that, you just never know what somebody's thinking, and kind of hits you home, man. And when you work out and you think about, you feel so lonely when you're in a gym or when you're eating or when you're home or whatever. But when you go and there's so many people pulling for you, positive and stuff like this, these are the things you think about. It kind of makes you want to do another set and rep,
Yeah.
For the people out there who love and support me that I don't know and that I don't see, you guys, those letters like that, Frank, thank you so much. Brings tears to my eyes and it keeps me going, man. And one day, I hope to God we do meet. I'll be back from Russia the end of this month, but I'll be going heavy into my training starting next month. So, man, hopefully you can drive on down, meet me at Exile Gym. I'll be there for the next 5 months, blowing it out, doing what I can do at 100% to represent at the Arnold Classic Australia. So hopefully, Frank, you can get down, man. We can get to meet each other. That'd be good.
I'm looking at Kevin Levrone here, no spaces, all lowercase, Kevin Levrone. 645,000 people follow your journey every day, and I'm guaranteeing you every single one of them is inspired and motivated by the content you're putting out, following your journey, whether they're 16 years old or 60 years old, and you reach a lot of people. That's so much more significant than all the titles you have and the physique and the pictures and all that, as far as I'm concerned. It's the impact you've had on so many lives over the years.
Yeah, thank you, Ron. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
So, hopefully we'll talk one more time before you leave for Mother Russia.
Yeah, we will. And thank you guys for all the questions, man.
Keep them coming.
Hey, I look forward to answering you guys' questions, man. Just keep them rolling. That's it. Thanks, man. Ron, you know how we're rolling, baby, right?
Oh, wait, I got
One,
it.
2, 3. Boom.
I did it right. Thank you,
Peace.
everybody. This has been How I See with Kevin Levrone, brought to you by Levrone Supplements.